Well, hello, hello, hello. I said hello. I can say good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are. I am Recie Myers coming to you live. I'm coming to you from our kitchen.
And I'm Roland Myers, and happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. We thought we'll just do it from our kitchen this morning because somehow, whenever we get on the porch or we have all these distractions, so this way we can at least control our environment a little bit. Anyway, every morning Roland and I come and share just a nugget or two. I call them nuggets because they're these little valuable tips that can help you in your personal life, in your business life. Just something that can help you, food for thought, or something that you can implement in your life to make it better. We're speaking to spiritual entrepreneurs, people who know that they were placed on this planet for a specified reason. They want to do more, they want to be more, want to have more, want to be more impactful in the lives of the people around them and whomever. And we roll, both of us, Roland and I, we on this journey towards being the best that we can be. And sometimes you need a little help along the way because we don't all know everything. And as we were perusing, we came across this gentleman named Dan Locke. Yeah, I think it's, hold on, it's Dan Locke. Yes, Danlok. Yeah. And he says, there are 13 egos, he calls them egos, that weigh us down, that block us or stop us from achieving the goals that we have for ourselves or being prosperous.
That keeps us from being prosperous.
Yes. And we're not going to do all 13 in this setting. We're probably going to just do the first 5, and then Monday maybe we'll do another 5, and then the last 3 probably Tuesday or something like that. Anyway, so Dan calls them egos, things that weigh us down, that prevent us or block us from achieving the goals that we have for ourselves. And now some of us, I know for myself, sometimes it may not just be one thing, it could be a combination of 2 or more of these. So here are, you want to go first, Roland?
Yeah, well, he first starts off with the blame ego. It's the government's fault why I don't have, or I'm in this situation, or you could blame the family. The family's holding me back, or it could be my supervisor at work. He's keeping me from achieving. He's throwing up all these roadblocks. So you're blaming everybody else, but looking at the situation and maybe looking at yourself.
Yeah. So in fact, instead of blaming everybody, the buck stops with you, because you are the change agent. You can't change everybody or whatever situation there is out there, but you can change you, the way you look at things. And whatever challenges come your way, you know that there's a way that you can overcome. You can overcome. You can't try to make the boss do this or make the supervisor do that.
Or expect them to do that.
Yes, that's right. So the first thing, the blame ego. The second one is know-it-all. Some people, you just can't tell them anything. They know everything. This book, I don't need to read this book because, I know everything. Some people come across that way, and they try to make themselves bigger than they are, and they don't want to take advice from others or read books, or you can't tell them anything.
Because they have a better way of doing things.
Yeah. Their way is always, their way is what is it? My way or the highway.
Right.
Yeah, my way or the highway. If it's not my idea, not my suggestion, it's not good, and they're not going to take those suggestions, internalize it, and use it to help them grow.
Yeah, like what Ursula is saying, that inner directed power.
That's right. And that inner directed power comes from somewhere. God puts it there. All right, you want to do number 3?
Well, let me see. We did the know-it-all, ego. Okay, the fear for ego. Yeah, that was a powerful one. Made me really kind of think. You're scared of success. We're scared to take that next step, or we're scared of failure. We don't act because we're scared of failure. I look at it this way: what do you have to lose?
And so you're like in that limbo state. Okay, well, if I do this, what if it blows up? What if it's successful? Oh, I'm scared of that success. Oh, I'm scared of crowds. You owe it to yourself to overcome those fears, because that's a big blockage.
Your own things that you're not comfortable with. You got to overcome that. Step out of that.
And that doesn't happen overnight. Those are things you have to work on within yourself, and it is a journey. I know for me that fear, I can identify with that.
And fear is an acronym. I like what he said. It's false evidence appearing real.
We conjure up things in our minds, and we scare ourselves out of trying or even attempting. If I do, it might fail. Why even bother? That's the poor attitude to take.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do the next one.
Okay.
Comfort zone. A lot of us don't do what we need to do, what we know we need to do, because, I don't need to be that ambitious, they may say to themselves. I'll just be content with the income that I have and just make it do. If I can't get this month, I'll save up for maybe 5 years to get that new car. I don't know. They make up something, So we're stuck in this comfort zone, afraid to step out. And I'm going to tell you something about comfort zone. When you're in your comfort zone, you're content, you're satisfied, you're just going to stay there, and that means you're not growing. If you are not growing, that means you're dying. And to keep our minds engaged, to keep it active, and I feel, I'm no doctor or anything, I don't know, this is not scientifically proven because it's just my thoughts. When you keep your mind engaged, when you keep it active, when you're using it, it retards or pushes back those tendencies for forgetfulness, like Alzheimer's. I don't know. I'm no physical doctor, physician or anything. But if you exercise something, a muscle, it makes it stronger, right? Well, our brain, I think, is the same way. You got to exercise it. You got to stretch it. So we need to grow in knowledge.
Yeah.
And I think it has many benefits to it. So comfort zone. There's nothing wrong with having ambition to want to do more with your life. God blesses us, yes, with certain gifts and talents, but it's up to us to practice and strengthen those gifts and strengthen those talents, because somehow within those gifts and talents, once we perfect it, it can help us or sustain us in many walks of life.
That's right.
That's what I think. All right.
Well, then the next one he brings up is the judgment ego.
Yeah, judgmental.
Judgmental ego. You're always thinking negative thoughts about somebody else. It's like we get into the, you can't help when somebody else is successful, you kind of reflect upon yourself. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
But the thing is, some people will see someone successful and say, oh, that's wonderful. He's doing such a great job. He's moving, he's doing things with his life. But then there are others who, look at him, he thinks he's all that, and they start thinking negative. They're projecting their insecurities onto someone else, just judging them. You don't know what that person did to get where they are, how hard they worked,
Yeah, it's like everybody writing a book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inside joke. All right.
Well, with the judgment ego, really you're projecting your own insecurities.
Yeah.
As he brings that out.
So if you find yourself being critical of someone else because of their success, then maybe there's some refining that you might need to do for yourself. We should encourage others to keep doing and going as far and bettering themselves to the best of their ability.
Yeah.
And we should do the same for ourselves.
Without feeling threatened.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I saw that little a video clip where a worker was on the job doing really, really well, and his supervisor felt threatened. So when the gentleman came in and said, like to ask him about that promotion or the raise or whatever, he said, "Oh, well," this is the supervisor speaking, "well, we're going to have to let you go." He said, "Huh?" He was surprised because he's working like 15, 16 hours a day, every day. And he thought for sure he was climbing that ladder. But his supervisor was threatened and let him go. But the good part of that little clip was that I guess maybe a year later, that same gentleman who was doing so well, thriving, before his supervisor let him go, he came back, but he had done so well. He was driving some kind of a Porsche or something. But not saying that that's going to happen to you, but the thought about being happy for others as they are improving and bettering themselves. We should also do the same, try to better and improve ourselves.
Yeah, maybe look at ourselves. Maybe some of us were not ambitious enough about something, so maybe, and we see somebody else, we see what we want to be or what we should be, but we are not, so.
And then we talk ourselves, I didn't want it anyway. It wasn't going to happen anyway.
They probably cheated.
Or then talk down or be negative. That's just not the way to go. So judgmental ego, that's another one. Oh, you know what? Those are the first five.
Well, we can go one more because there are 13 of them.
Well, I thought we could do, you do the next one then.
All right, then. There's excuse ego.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Excuses.
Oh, excuses, nothing but, I like what you said, a well-planned lie. A well-planned lie.
Yes.
I can't, I shouldn't. Those are kind of thoughts that we have inside of us. And, a lot of times we just have to take chances. You'd be surprised at what you can do.
And especially when you listen to that inner voice. I think Ursula mentioned that there's an inner voice that kind of guides us and tells us, and you feel strongly about it, but then you start second guessing yourself, and no, it's too hard. Oh no, I just don't have the money. I can't take advantage of, like I wrote a book recently, was released last month, and when I looked at the roadmap to doing it, it's like, and you want to shy away and say, oh, maybe I'll do it later.
Yeah.
I'll do it later, keep putting it off. And even though you may not see all the pieces in place, but you just go on and do it in faith, knowing that it will come to fruition. And so that excited me.
Man, we need to be true with ourselves now. I'm not going to get out here and pull my engine apart in my car to try to fix it when I don't have the proper training, know. So, we need to be true, but sometimes it's just a matter of taking the initiative, and trying. Especially when there's no other help available. Sometimes we just have to do things on our own.
Right.
Like take back our government.
Anyway, so those are just 6 of the 13 tips that we wanted to share with you that we came across. Ursula said something, and the overstanding
of abundance.
Yes. There is enough room for everyone and their gifts. So we don't need to be feeling threatened by someone else. You have your gifts. Go ahead and develop them, and it's up to you to do that.
Yeah, I don't have anything really to say about it. As long as you're doing something moral, correctly, and you're not infringing on anyone else or you're cheating anyone else. Something that's ethical, that's building up society.
Right.
There we go with that. Christian entrepreneurs.
Yes,
Spiritual entrepreneurs.
And on that note, Roland and I, we try to bring something that is of value, not just for you, but for our listening audience, even if you're catching the replay. And by the way, if you're catching us live, say hello. If you're catching the replay, you can tell us where you're tuning in from with #replay. But I also want to let you know that in the description, there is a link to a group that I had started, but I'd like to be able to come back to it more. There are people out there I know who are struggling with many of these. And I know for me, some of these apply to me. But it takes a conscious effort on our part to get out of that thinking, this ego thinking. We're going to share the other ones with you tomorrow. So if you'd like to join this free group, Spiritual Entrepreneurs, Goal Crushers, where I'm going to be sharing some of these things within there and, do some lives, things that we are doing, situations that we've been in and how we've overcome some of those challenges, click on the link and would love to have you in the group. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's what we have for you today. Tomorrow is Saturday weekend. We'll be back on Monday. So we thank you for joining us today. And did you want to say anything else before we tune on?
No, just have a very safe weekend and keep your ego in and out of it.
Yes, keep it in check. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye now.